Welcome back to the Hydron Home Hub. I'm Chruszhet, your trusted realtor and host for this podcast. We'll be shining some light on a hot topic today, solar energy. With me is Stephen from Sunnova Solar. We're going to dive into how solar panels can help homeowners save money and even boost your home's value. So if you're interested in learning more about solar panels itself, this podcast is for you. Let's get started.
That's right. Yes, let's go. I'm ready.
Stephen, tell us about your story and how you got started into the solar industry.
So I got started in the solar industry about 3.5 years ago, almost 4 years ago now. And I started as bottom of the barrel. You know, when you start new in a company, you start on the door-to-door team, and we have a door-to-door team. And so I kind of started there as the assistant to the boss. And so I got my field training in, and the very first door that I knocked, a closer went in and closed it the next day. So it felt really good. But I actually ended up taking a step back for about a month because for whatever reason, it was really hard for me to cross that threshold of starting something new. We're talking about electrical work and changing the status of how people's homes operate. And I was like, I'm used to serving food and managing restaurants and creating a hospital environment where people want to come and enjoy a delicious meal. Yeah. You know, so the transition was definitely something unlike I've ever experienced before. But, you know, share a little bit of my background with you. You know, I come from a very diverted place that a lot of people are not familiar with, or they are, you know, and so I am almost 6 years sober off of heroin.
Well, congratulations.
And thank you so much. And I only bring that up because that is kind of what pivoted me into getting into the renewables industry. I worked in the restaurant industry for a very long time, and it was dead end. It was very no room for improvement, growth. It was like, once you're the GM of the company, they're kind of at your limit, and I wasn't really happy. And at that time, my cousin owned a contractor out here, and so I kind of got involved, and I started to really get to understand the logistics and the ethics that are attached to solar, because it is very important that everybody out there knows that there are integrity. There are people operating with integrity out there selling you solar. You just have to find the right one. And I am a very connected person. So if I connect with you right away, I'm going to know if your energy is good for me or not. Yeah. And so if you at all as a homeowner, as a consumer, feel at all that the person that you are interacting with is pushy or won't show you the numbers or won't tell you what a price per watt is, you might want to continue to explore your options somewhere else, so that way you can get the answers that you need and not the answers that somebody else is trying to have you look for, if that makes sense.
Yeah, such good advice. That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about Sunnova. What sets your company apart from the other competitors?
So Sunnova, oh my gosh, where do I start with Sunnova? So I love Sunnova because Sunnova is a company that really puts their homeowners first. And so I know that when you and I had initially sat down and talked about solar, there is a really cool pricing feature that I love, that it forces me as the sales rep to save you money. And when we were kind of going through the pricing tool, as we were going through the pricing, remember, it kept telling us, this is too expensive for your homeowner. This does not make sense. And for me, it is very important that I operate from a place of integrity, and I do so by working somewhere where I can give back to homeowners in a way that I've never been able to before. Yeah. And so I do that by showing up for my homeowners with the proper information and the correct information. And so Sunnova, I love Sunnova for a few different reasons. First of all, they have a production guarantee that most other companies do not honor, and they do an annual audit on your system, unless you choose to do monthly, but I always recommend the annual. And they will check on the status, the health of it. They will check to make sure you're producing exactly what they promised you they were going to produce. And if they don't, they will give you a credit back on your bill for the next 12 months of billing. And I love that they also have a team that's monitoring the systems actively for us as well. So that way they're interacting with you and they're saying, hey, you know what? I just want to let you know that we see that you have a panel that's not producing right now, but the rest of your system is functioning, and we have a team member on their way out to come and fix that within 48 hours. Yeah. For me, it's all about transparency and letting the homeowner know exactly what's going on with their project, exactly what stage it's in, and everything that is going on with with that project, the permits, what kind of equipment you're going to have, expected timelines, who you're supposed to be working with. That is all information that is so important to
It
you
is.
and to me and to the
It
homeowner.
is important.
Like
Yeah.
we have to make sure that we are giving out the proper information every time to each homeowner, because if we don't, we're doing them a disservice and you should get up and leave that
Absolutely.
household
I
right away.
agree.
You
I
know what I
agree.
mean?
Totally. Okay. Okay. So, what are the biggest benefits for homeowners who decide to go solar?
So the biggest benefits is that you get away from your utility. That is the first one. The utility, let me tell you, I don't know if the people that are watching this podcast are very familiar with the backside of your utility bill, but go ahead and feel free to take a look at the backside of that. You're going to see on the backside of that, you're going to see that people without solar are currently paying for things like temporary greenhouse, gas emission removals. We're talking about financing solar systems that are being built in the middle of the desert to give to low-income housing families. And that is an incredible program that NV Energy is launching out here in Nevada. And I think it's wonderful that we are able to utilize the resources that homeowners are putting on top of their roof to help people who maybe are not financially as independent as well. But the thing is that when you are attached to your utility, they have control. They raise your inflation rates at no warning. They just say,
Right.
this is what's happening. This is what's going on.
Yeah.
And because you are forced to do business with us, you have to do this or else there is no option out for you. There is
Right.
no, hey, let me call another company and see what I can do.
Yeah.
And so it's my responsibility working for Sunnova to make sure I give you that information so that way you feel set up for success. So that way you feel like when you sleep at night and you put your head on your pillow, that your roof, that your home, that is your sanctuary. It's protected and it's safe. And it's also saving you money. Like who would think that a solar system would be saving you money during the day while you're working and at home while you're sleeping, you know?
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to be doing. And if it's not doing that for you, then please, let's fix that for you,
Yeah,
you know,
for
because
sure.
it's important. It's very
Yeah.
important that we get everybody the correct information every time the first time.
Absolutely. Yeah. I looked at my bill when you came over.
Yeah.
And I was so surprised. I've never really, took the time to look at it, but you pointed out all the little all the little lines and all the little charges that
Sure.
we as homeowners are, paying for, right? So
Yeah.
it's amazing to see that. It just brought light to it.
It is, and here's the thing. I want to say this. It's very gimmicky. It's very used car salesman. It's very You're only paying 36 cents on this billing cycle for this. Well, that's great, but that was before the 12% increase that just went
Yeah.
into effect, right? So talk about the 12% increase that just went into effect. Then we talk about now you've lowered 2%. Thank you so much, but then you did a following 13% increase. So we really didn't see any type of
Yep.
savings. So in the end, I think that the utility is usually working against you, but they're trying to dress it up like they're working for you.
Yeah.
Like they are your advocate. They're going to create commercials on TV telling you that they're going to give you free thermostats or free things to upgrade your home. But the truth is that we're moving towards a more modern day industry where we have to have the resources that are necessary to provide savings to homeowners, like getting away from a utility on a legal rate, so that way you can price it out. I mean, for the savings that we're going to be saving you, significant. You know what I mean? I mean, you're going to be saving over $75,000 over a 25-year period, and then after that, $0 a month for the rest of your life.
Okay,
you
sign me
can't
up.
beat it. You know what I mean? I'm ready to sign you up. You know what I mean?
Speaking of savings, and there's a
Yes.
lot of talk about the cost of installing solar panels,
Yes.
right? Break it down for us. So
Okay.
what's the return on investment for me?
Okay, so the return on investment differs based off of your financing, obviously. If you were to pay something off in like a cash form, you're going to see your ROI come back probably within a 7 to 10 year period. And that's a very truthful statement based off of the research and the knowledge that I have from working in the industry as long as I have. Obviously, if you finance, your ROI is going to take longer for you to benefit from that. But also with financing also comes the flexibility of being able to have a lower monthly payment and being able to maintain control of that. And if you do a purchase, you have options like the tax credit and other federal incentives that come with that as well to kind of help you maintain the cost of that. But the return on investment, as long as you have storage, you're going to be set up for success. Like if you're in a city or a state that is prone to hurricanes or things where you're going to be down, if you live in states that are on their own grid, where you may have rolling blackouts and things like that, it's best to have storage. But if you are set up with the proper equipment, whether you have storage or not, the best panels in the industry always always, and the best inverters on the market as always, because our homeowners need the best all the time. And if there's something better out there that is being made for you, it's important that you know that we are going to be giving that product to you, because we want the top of the line and the best of the best for our homeowners every time, the first time. And we have a specific list of panels that we allow with our company to install, because most of the panels, believe it or not, do not make our criteria cutoff. And if you don't make our criteria cutoff, unfortunately, you don't get to install with us, because it's important that we are providing you as a homeowner equipment that's going to last you really 50 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's important when you're talking about getting into the logistics of your family. Are you going to be handing that home down to your children one day? And if they are they going to be set up for success by receiving that information, knowing that they're not going to have a power bill and that they're going to, you know what I mean? And that's giving, rediverting those funds that maybe they would be saving to invest into a kid's college fund. You know what I mean? Or paying your car off, or paying your home off, you know, like, and the beautiful thing I love about it is that solar adds value to your home. So you're also increasing the value of your home while also never having a power bill. So it's like a win-win as far as making sure your offset is correct, of course, and making sure you're conducting business with an honest, ethical salesman is always the key to making sure you're set up for success.
All right. So explain the difference between owning, leasing, and power purchase agreements.
Okay. So there are a few different options out there. And so owning a solar system means that regardless of whether you finance it or pay cash, you own that solar system. That solar system means that it is attached to your house and you own it, and it is never going anywhere and no one can ever come and take it off your roof. Now with that comes either cash purchase or financing, and we have financing options available for you through our loan program. But for me, I love our PPA option and our lease options that we have. And the reason why I love them so much is because they come with the annual energy audit, where they are going to say, we promise you, you're going to produce a certain amount of energy this year. Now we're going to make sure we're holding up our end of the bargain that you won't get with the purchase, right? And so a PPA is simply a power purchase agreement. And what that is that is built based off of how much you consume and how much your system will produce. Okay. A lease is simply built off of your system size, and that is it. So the lease is just for someone who is really just like, I don't want to own it, and I don't really care about buying it out. I just kind of want to have it on my roof. It's maybe more of a rental property. Power purchase agreement is great because it comes with your annual audit. It comes with the production guarantee and all of the other benefits that I know you and I had talked about when we sat down. And for me, it's more of like protection. Power purchase agreement all the way is like protection. And it's important that you know that when you have a company working for you 24 hours a day, making sure that you are receiving what we promised you, it's important. It's important because 1 month, 2 weeks missed without knowing if you're producing or not is the difference between someone on a fixed income receiving a second power bill and a Sunnova bill as well. And we don't want that. We want to make sure our homeowners have one low fixed flat rate for the rest of their life. And then after that, it's just nothing, you know?
I love that. Okay. All right. So what's the most surprising benefit of going solar that most people don't know about?
Okay, so the most surprising benefit about going solar that most people don't know about is that our panels have 30-year warranties that if your solar installer goes out of business, so the people who are actually putting your panels on the roof, the beautiful thing is that those warranties are actually by the panel manufacturers, which is what sets us apart. And so those warranties are a 30-year warranty that is fixed under the inverter manufacturers, the panel manufacturers. So if the local mom and pop business that you may have conducted business with, if you're watching this or if you're thinking about doing business in the future, if that company goes out of business, the best thing is I love it because we have our warranties in place with our panel manufacturers. And so it's our responsibility to make sure that we set you up and we have an account ready to go. So that way, if a panel goes down, if a coconut falls from the sky and shatters one of your panels, that we get a team member out there within 48 hours to get that replaced for you, because it's important that you know that you're going to open an NV energy bill every month and that it's going to be $0 or $5 or whatever your connection fee is that month. You know, it's very important.
I do like when you came over and you showed me the app in which I can tell which panels are out or what needs to be, addressed, I guess.
Absolutely.
So I like that. I like that feature.
It is one of the coolest features I think that we offer because most homeowners don't really know too much about solar in general. So when you kind of get to come in and you get to tell someone about the benefits of solar and then you show them the savings they're going to have on top of it, and you're like, if you're invested in this in the long run and you are willing to save $75,000 over a 25-year period, then let's go ahead and rock and roll, you know?
Right.
And I think that the beautiful thing about that is that homeowners at that time, even the homeowners who have sat down with the high pressure reps, you're making a decision that is going to benefit you for the rest of your life. And I promise you that even if you end up getting a small power bill and you need to add panels, or maybe your consumption habits have changed, or maybe you buy an electric vehicle and we kind of have to restructure the size of your system, we want to make sure that we do that right for you. And the reason why I love Sunnova is because it is as simple as, hey, Steven, can you come over to my house? We need to add a couple more panels. We bought another Tesla, or we're building a pool in the backyard. We want to make sure our offset is correct. You know, we want to make sure that we are saving you the most amount of money while also doing you a service, not a disservice. And that is the big thing in solar, is that if I'm operating with integrity and ethics, you will always receive a service from me and never a disservice from me.
Yes, looking forward to that.
I know. I'm so excited for that.
All right. So here's a fun question. If you had to design your dream solar powered home, what features would you include?
Okay, so I would include all smart home features, and I'm talking the full-on alarm system experience where I can control the lights in the home, where I can control everything from an app designed on my phone, and I want to have like the luxury, the doors that are solar powered in the backyard that can open and close remotely. Like I am all into the logistics of my solar system, so I want the best equipment always. So if I could build, I would probably build the one that I told you about on my house. I have a 21 kilowatt system on my roof, and I do not need that at all whatsoever. I maybe need about 10 kilowatts on my roof, but I designed it that way because it's effective for me. I love the way that it looks on my roof. It is beautiful. And to be honest with you, it has gained so much attention from so many of my neighbors that they're like, hey, what's going on your roof? We see a lot of solar panels up there and our power bill is really high this month. And what are you doing to save? And then when I open my power bill and I show that to them, what I showed you, and that my power bill was $0 for 3 months in a row and then $5 last month. It is such a winning statement. And when you're talking to someone who's on a fixed income or someone who is really on a tight budget, it quite literally transforms and revolutionizes the way that they can see their future with their finances. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
I have watched homeowners cry at the table before when their credit has declined. And I've had to like figure out a way to pull strings and figure out, because we have to get these homeowners to where we want them to be. You know, we want to set people up for success. And oftentimes people are looking for solar for reprieve. They're looking for relief. They want to have the opportunity to say, okay, you know what? I need to take control of my finances, and how do I start? And this is a great way to start, is by going solar.
Okay. All right. So here's some fun questions. Let's go over. Okay. Let's do a quick myth busting round. Tell me if these myths are true or false. Okay. Solar panels don't work on cloudy days.
False. Slightly false.
Oh, okay.
Slightly false.
Tell us a little bit.
So slightly false. So production is lower, but not zero. So remember that the rays from the sun, they reflect off of clouds. So that reflection off of the clouds will come to your panels, but it is not a direct photovoltaic current. So it is not a direct current coming from the sun. It is being blocked by what's in the sky. And so even though it's reflecting off of the side of the clouds, it's still not allowing enough penetration of light to come through to give you a full production day.
Got it.
So you're going to see lower production on cloudy days, but yes, you will still see production, but not very much of it. So that's why it's great with Sunnova when they do the annual audit and they're like, oh, it rained for 28 days straight in February. You didn't produce anything. We're knocking your bill down, $5 or $6 a month for the next 12 months for you to save.
Okay.
So when they talk about those escalators and things like that, it kind of washes those out, which is great.
That's great.
I love that.
Okay. All right. So is this true or false? Solar is only for people with big roofs.
False. False. It is, I mean, my house is 1,700 square feet. I have a 1-story, 3-bedroom house. It is for homes of all sizes, all natures, because remember that it's not the size of your home, it's how much energy you're actually consuming that matters on the size of the system being built for your home.
Okay.
Yeah,
awesome.
so it's personalized and tailored to you it's designed for you in a way that is personalized, that nobody else will ever be able to receive the exact same benefits that you are unless they sign up with us as well.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. All right. So for homeowners who are on the fence about going solar,
Yes.
what's one piece of advice you can give them?
Please, please, please make sure you are doing business with someone who is reputable, someone who you feel comfortable with, and someone who is being honest with you about the facts about solar. I'm here to tell you, ask your solar sales rep what the price per watt is on that solar system. And that was one of the first things I told you when I sat down with you, because oftentimes solar is sold based on a price per watt model. And so if there are an extenuating number of watts on a panel, we know that we need to build you a certain size based off of your consumption. And so it's important that you are sitting down with a company that has great reviews, great ethics. My company has 4.1 stars on Google across the board. We are set up for success because we want our homeowners to be happy. We want them to go solar. We want you to receive the benefits. And I am over here just dying to sign up as many people as I possibly can, as long as you sign up with someone who is doing business the correct way. So I always recommend asking your sales rep for the price per watt. So that way, if you're shopping around and getting multiple quotes, you can say, what's my price per watt? Okay, well, I sat down with Steven and my price per watt was this. And then I sat down with another sales rep who said that their price per watt was almost $1,000 more a kilowatt than yours. And I don't really understand where that extra money is coming from. And oftentimes, if a homeowner doesn't understand where the pricing is coming from, they're not going to sign with you, because you're not allowing them to understand who you are as a person and the product that they're benefiting from, that you're selling to them, And it's important too, to be very honest with you, that you do business with someone. You're not buying solar because of the product. You're buying solar because of me, the experience that you've had with me, the information that I've given to you, and the personality is that clash, right? Like the relationships that we establish and things that we get to talk about and get to know each other. It's like, when you're doing business with the right person, you know? And when I was testing a theory out, I requested a solar quote from one of my competitors, and I sent them my power bill, and they underbuilt my system by 8 kilowatts. So that would have left me with about a $300 power bill in the summer and about $180 solar payment a month. So in circumstances like that, being educated, it's important to know that you're getting the correct offset. So if you're getting quotes from 4 people and 3 people tell you that you need a 15 kilowatt, and then there's one person over here saying you only need like a 5 kilowatt, that person that's the small one, it might be alarming to be like, there's something fishy going on here. Can you show me your price per watt? Is a price tag or something looks a little off here, And then you'll be able to tell by their response what their integrity looks like. And I believe in that 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So how can viewers get started with Sunnova Solar if they're ready to explore solar energy?
Please call me directly right away, and I will immediately come out to your house. We are available across the entire United States. So if you are not in Nevada, I can do a virtual assessment with you, and I can sign documents over Zoom, over the phone. I will fly out to your house if you want me to, so that way it's more personable for you. If you want to sign up with Sunnova Solar, I can send you my contact information. You can post it, and please share it with as many people. But Sunnova is the easiest way, is to just contact them directly or contact me directly, and I can come out same day and sign you up or get you some numbers and at least get the ball rolling so you can make those decisions. I don't believe in high pressure closing. I believe in presenting numbers and giving you a couple days to talk about it. And you know what I mean? It's time to have that quality conversation with your husband in private about what you really want to do and what your finances look like. You know, when the solar salesman leaves and it's time to kind of wind down for the night. I believe in that fully, 100%. Like you can ask the people that I work with, I'm the king of two-step closing is what they call it, meaning that I go back a second time to close the deal, because I don't believe in one-step closes. I want you to get to know the product, do your research, and believe that what I'm telling you is right, and find that information online and say, okay, like I'm believing what Steven's telling me because what he says is true is actually showing me to be true, and it's very important.
I definitely did my research.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Figured.
I asked for some proposals from a few companies and then asked them the kilowatt per, what is it?
The price per
Price
watt?
per watt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and it came back to Sunnova.
Yeah, very nice. That makes me very happy.
Because I trust you and I like you. So
thank you. Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. I like you a lot as well. I know I'm sure by my text messages with you, you've seen I vibe very well with you. And I am like that with most of my homeowners. I am so excited. I could run through a wall talking about solar. I just want to get as many people signed up for solar. 1 in every 25 homes right now in the United States is signed up for solar. Oh. That is embarrassing for us as solar sales reps. We should be doing better. We should be doing better where 50% of us should be on renewable energy by now. For as much as we are doing, as many initiatives as we are creating, as many laws as we're putting into place, we should really be escalating this and elevating this and showing people the sense of urgency that comes with going solar before, benefits expire. The Public Utilities Commission will immediately raise those rates as soon as they can. And if you're not grandfathered into the specific program that we're signing you up for, then they may have different structure at that time. And at that time, it's too late, So I always recommend for the people who say that they're going to wait for it to get cheaper. I say that when I offered a 1.99% interest rate during the pandemic and the lowest interest rate I have now is a 4.49%, it's not getting cheaper. So let's talk about what we can do for you now versus later on. Most definitely.
Well, thank you, Stephen, for being here, for shedding some light on solar energy.
Yes.
I've learned so much just from talking to you for the past, I don't know, last time when we talked, I learned a lot and I did my own research. But yes, thank you. It's clear that going solar isn't just a trend, right?
Definitely not a trend.
It's a smart and sustainable choice for homeowners.
Absolutely.
And so if you're thinking of going solar or you're thinking of making a switch to solar, please check out Sunnova Solar or give Stephen a call. Please like, subscribe, and share this video to someone who may be thinking about going solar. Until next time, we'll see you on the next episode of Hydron Home Hub.
Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for letting me be here today. I had such a pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you.